Hi, this is TNG, and this is the first part of a new series called The Bullet Shot. Today, or in this part, we'll be looking at the millennial reign of Christ and a particular piece of evidence, should we say, which we're going to look at a little bit later. First, you may have noticed that this millennial reign of Christ, and in particular what's known as the little season as well after it, has become a bit popular. Kind of started to take over the theory from this old world and Tartaria type material. So what I wanted to do, I'm not saying either way here whether this is true or not, but what I am saying, or I'm going to do in this series, is show you some evidence used by the people pushing this that may not be quite as kosher, excuse the pun, as it could be. So first things first, I'll just explain the millennial reign of Christ in case nobody's ever heard of it, or you're not sure, or if you are a Christian and haven't bothered to read your Bible or something like that. Well, the concept of the millennial reign of Christ and the subsequent little season is primarily drawn from the book of Revelation in the New Testament, specifically in Revelation 20, 1-10. The millennial reign refers to a literal or symbolic 1,000-year period during which Christ reigns on earth. This period is described as a time of peace, righteousness, and the fulfillment of God's promises. In Revelation 21-3, it describes how Satan is bound for 1,000 years and cast into the abyss, preventing him from deceiving the nations during this time. This binding of Satan is a significant aspect of the millennial reign, as it allows for an era of unprecedented peace and divine rule. During the millennium, Christ reigns with his saints, who are described as those who have part in the first resurrection. This includes martyrs who have not worshipped the beast or its image, and who have not received the mark of the beast. Revelation 20, 4-6. They reign with Christ for the entire 1,000 years. So while the New Testament gives limited details, the millennial reign is depicted as a time of restoration and fulfillment of God's kingdom on earth. Old Testament passages like Isaiah 2, 2-4 and Isaiah 11, 6-9, often interpreted as describing this period, speak of harmony among nations and creation, absence of war, and universal knowledge of God. And this leads into the first resurrection. This resurrection pertains to the righteous dead who are brought to life to reign with Christ. Those who partake in this resurrection are blessed and holy, and the second death, the eternal separation from God, has no power over them, which is in Revelation 26. Now, what some of these people are saying, or these influencers are saying, is that we are now in the little season. So the millennial reign of Christ is over. It finished. And the little season, well, I could say that this place is kind of crazy, and I could even imagine that this actually is a good answer for what the hell's going on, what's going on around here. So I'll give you a bit of an overview of the little season. So after the millennium, Satan is released from his prison for a little season, which is in Revelation 27. This release marks the end of the millennial reign and the final test for humanity. Satan goes out to deceive the nations once more, gathering them for a final battle against God's people, described as Gog and Magog. That's in Revelation 28-9. This rebellion represents humanity's last attempt to oppose God's rule. And obviously God swiftly defeats this rebellion. Fire comes down from heaven and devours the attacking forces. Satan is then cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet already are, to be tormented forever, in Revelation 20:10. This marks the final and complete defeat of evil. Following the little season, the great white throne judgment occurs, which is in Revelation 20:11-15. All the dead are resurrected and they are judged according to their works. Those whose names are not found in the book of life are cast into the lake of fire, which is the second death. Now, as I said, people are pushing that the millennial reign of Christ is over, and that what you'd call the dark age, so 1,000 years, basically being termed as this millennial reign, and it's all been hidden or swept under the rug. And obviously they do what the Tartaria and old world people do and say that history is fake without giving much evidence, to be honest, apart from looking at some buildings that may be mud flooded or not. Yeah, but this little season, so they're saying that now we're living in that time, and we're going to look at one of their evidences. So obviously a lot of this is drawn from the Bible itself. However, they do give some what you call physical evidence. So this part today is a look at the first piece of evidence, one that keeps coming up over and over again in loads of podcasts and whatever I listen to. And so here we go. So the first evidence they're giving is, so we have this missing 1,000 years, and what they're saying is that there's coins out there, and if you look at the coins, older coins, you know, so from any time really in the last 1,000 years, and you look at them, and so say if it's, for example, 1609, and either they'll have the 1 at the front of the 1609 on the coin will either be an I or a J. Now, obviously denoting J for Jesus, or I for Iesus. And obviously the J and the I once were interchangeable, which is correct because the letter J apparently was never used up until 1524, according to the official history books, when an Italian called Gian Giorgio Trissing basically started using the J. Yeah, so that's where it came from. Apparently the origin of the letter J traces back further to the Greek letter Zeta, which appeared in ancient Greek alphabet, but actually wasn't used in English or Italian or whatever till the earliest 1524. I do find it a little hard to believe, obviously, that any coins older than 1524, if genuine, will have a J in front, because J was never used until 1524 onwards. Well, let's have a look at some coins now. So here we have some silver coins, and this first one, and lo and behold, what would be a 1, it does actually look like an I. And if we go to 1723, we also have what looks like an I, and then 1795, again what looks like an I. Now, bearing in mind these coins, that I've tried to find the same coin, same style of coin from the same place, minted in the same place. So there was 3 examples, 1702, 1723, 1795. But have a look at this one. This one is from 1721. Now what do you notice? That's right, the 1. Both ends. They both look like eyes, don't they? Now why would that be? Let's take a look at another coin. Let's have a look at some Spanish coins. So we have a Spanish coin, a silver coin from 1590. We have another one from 1736 and another one from 1770. But let's have a look at this one from 1721, and again it looks like the one either end, both look like an I. Interesting indeed. Now, one more set of coins. Let's look at some UK coins. So the first one's from 1708, and you'll notice instead of an I, the first, what would be the 1, looks like a J, and indeed it does, it looks like a J. And let's go to another one, 1739, you'll notice it's the same coin reminted, and there it looks like a J again, so that's a good few, 31 years in between. Yeah, it looks like a J. But lo and behold, let's go 1712. Now what do you notice? And 1714. What do you notice again? And if there's any doubt in your mind, let's have a look at 1711. Oh dear. It does seem to be that the typeface for the ones just happened to look like J's and I's, didn't they? But it wasn't 711, the year of Jesus, was it? So unfortunately, I would say that that's this one completely debunked. Yeah, that's it for today. I'll be back with another part soon, and we'll pick at something else from this millennial reign, and maybe we'll end up at some point at the Bible itself, which will be an interesting part. But that's it from me today. See you again soon. Bye bye.